Hi, I'm Michael Doyle, an industry analyst at World, and today I will be covering the Australian beer manufacturing industry and how its oligopolistic structure influences market dynamics. Australia's beer industry is dominated by two foreign-owned brewers, Asahi and Lion. Together, these companies account for the majority of the nation's beer sales and production. This concentration has been reinforced over the past decade by major mergers and acquisitions. For example, Asahi's acquisition of Carlton and United Breweries and Lion's purchase of Fermentum are two key deals that have allowed these giants to increase their direct market share. Moves like this have also reduced the number of competitors, making it more difficult for smaller or new players to break into the market. There are benefits to customers arising from this scale. The size and efficiency of the major players means that they are able to negotiate better deals with retailers and suppliers, resulting in aggressive pricing on mass market products at major retailers. The structure also helps with supply reliability. The large brewers have built established nationwide distribution networks, which means that popular Australian brands are almost always in stock, whether at major retailers or across pubs and bottle shops nationwide. For consumers, this leads to convenience, consistency, and a lower risk of empty shelves. However, the dominance of major brewers, Asahi and Lion, also does create challenges for the industry. The large players maintain long-term tap contracts with hospitality venues, giving them control over distribution through exclusivity agreements. They also use aggressive pricing on mainstream products at major retailers like Endeavour Group or Coles Group, securing valuable shelf space and making it extremely difficult for independents to compete in retail. This forces them upstream into pubs and bars, exactly where the tap contracts lock them out. The lack of access for smaller brewers makes their operations increasingly unviable, resulting in closures and, in the end, reduced competition across the industry due to the power of the duopoly. We have seen at least 47 closures between January 2023 and February 2025 alone. Independent brewers have reported that their production costs rose by 23% over the 5 years through to 2023, while retail prices for their products rose by only 11% during the same period. This margin compression is unsustainable and impacts smaller breweries more so than it does the larger players, as they can't achieve the scale efficiencies of the majors, who negotiate supply contracts worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Independent brewers often lead the way in developing new beer styles and trends. Large brewers typically monitor these emerging segments and, once a trend proves successful, may acquire established independent brands. Lion's acquisition of Little Creatures and Fermentum are examples of this approach. Over time, however, as smaller independents struggle to get off the ground, product innovation in the industry is likely to slow. The closure of smaller independent breweries carries a disproportionately large risk to regional employment. With 56% of independent breweries located in regional Australia, local economies that depend on these breweries face significant disruption. Independent breweries employ 51% of the sector's workforce, despite holding a far lower market share, which means that each small brewery closure eliminates more jobs relative to its market footprint than that of a major brewer would. Some regional towns may lose a significant employer or tourism anchor when such breweries close. For the major brewers, there is now risk of regulatory backlash. With more than half of Australians now backing an ACCC inquiry, pressure is growing. If a formal investigation proceeds, it could lead to tighter rules around tap contracts or mergers, forcing the majors to reconsider their operating practices.